What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here with some more Series 8 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. Yesterday we used a Trick Room Groudon team to not much success, and today we're going to hopefully have better luck with another Trick Room team. This time it's focused around Dialga. We also have Dusclops that can set Trick Room and also work with Dialga to do a double Trick Room to reset the amount of turns left. Dusclops does have Bulldoze, which can trigger that weakness policy, which is huge. The team also does function really well outside of Trick Room with things like Thundurus, with Assault Vest, which has been huge, Arcanine for support. It also has Glastrier, which functions both well in and out of Trick Room, and finally Tapu Fini, which is just a really great support Pokemon. Calm Mind, I think, is huge with the amount of special attackers, and just all of the support works really well, and I think this team has just a lot of good options in terms of what it can and can't do. So hopefully we can get some exciting gameplay, and let's just hop straight into the first game. So for this first game, we have a Groudon team with Groudon, Venusaur, Charizard, Urshifu, Porygon, and Glastrier. This is really tricky because of the fact that Venusaur does have the option to Sleep Powder. So I think Arcanine is a really good option then because of the safety goggles for a lead. Maybe Arcanine, this is tricky because Charizard does offer a lot of support. I think Arcanine Thundurus is the best bet because then, yeah, I can get the speed boost. They do have Groudon to set the sun. That's tricky. I do like these two as the lead options, though. I think it does give me the best coverage. Dialga, I think, is a good option here. It does have the option to boost defense and special defense by maxing, which can be really relevant, especially because they do have a lot of really offensive threats, and I think Glastrier, Tapu Fini is interesting. I think I am worried about that Venusaur more than anything, but let's try Tapu Fini. Let's try sort of the faster variant of the team that isn't focused on Trick Room. But I think, yeah, I think it depends on if that Venusaur, I expect it to have Sleep Powder, or if I expect it to just be primarily offensive, which I think is going to play a really big deal. But I think Arcanine is a good lead. The safety goggles really comes in handy. Groudon, Charizard. Okay, so they're probably going to max Charizard, and they're going to try and Wildfire into Thundurus, which makes me think that Wild Charge... Do I want to Wild Charge? Wild Charge Snarl seems tempting, because it sounds to me like Charizard is their best max option. Groudon's at -1, so I feel like it might switch out. I'm trying to think. Groudon has a White Herb. Okay, that's really good to know. I could just burn the Groudon. I think snarling the Charizard might be more effective. What do I have in the back? No, I think Will-O-Wisping the Groudon, and then... Well, that's tricky, because if they Airstream... That's hard. I think... Do I want to... I know the Charizard... Or I'm going to just Snarl, and then I'm going to Airstream into Groudon. I don't know if that's the best play. Okay, perfect. They withdrew Charizard, so that's great. They bring out Venusaur, so that's actually super huge, because that means I'm going to get the speed boost. I'm also going to break any potential Focus Sash, and then the next turn I can go for an Airstream again. I do have to worry. I mean, Groudon's at neutral against a maxed Thundurus. So unless they also plan on maxing their Groudon this turn, I'm not terribly worried. Which, yeah, they're not going to max. They're going to protect, which is great. I'm able to hit through that, get the speed boost, which means that I should outspeed Venusaur. And then that's great. Snarl, break any sort of Focus Sash, and then I can burn the Groudon next turn and just focus on one-shotting this Venusaur. It could be Koba Berry, but not the worst thing in the world in my mind. Okay, that's a good amount of chip. I think then the best option is to Will-O-Wisp into the Groudon and then just Airstream again into Venusaur, which will hopefully be able to pick out the knockout. Thundurus is super offensive. Yeah, they're going to max. Most likely they're Venusaur. which is a good position to be in. It means that Arcanine is faster, or is it? Oh, it's Groudon. Interesting. Okay. Cool. So I am faster, so getting off the Will-O-Wisp would be a really big deal. So let's see. Sleep Powder, I did not... Oh, wow. Targeted Arcanine. That's huge. Okay, so they are Koba Berry. Safety Goggles came in very, very big. Yep, Venusaur goes down, and then hitting the Will-O-Wisp onto Groudon should basically seal out the game, depending on what they have in the back. Yeah, Venusaur is gone. If I hit this Will-O-Wisp... Oh, perfect. Got that. Groudon is burned. I just don't trigger its weakness policy. I think Max Darkness, yeah, here comes the Max Rockfall. So you're going to change the weather, which is going to affect your Charizard as well, which honestly probably can't take a hit at this point. Cool. So we have the Sandstorm up. Thundurus is going to take some chip. It is over half. Groudon is going to be burned, which is a really big deal. Arcanine, the Safety Goggles are a really good choice. I was really unsure about the item, but I'm kind of glad I went with it. Oh, wow. And their last one is Porygon. That's interesting. I'm trying to think if they would try to switch the weather. I think Heat Wave just to get some chip. Heat Wave and then Max. I kind of want to just get damage onto their Porygon. Yeah, I think Max Lightning into Porygon just to get chip and just start slowly whittling at their health. Because then even if it becomes a game of them under Trick Room, it's not the worst thing in the world. Tapu Fini against Groudon isn't the scariest thing. I just don't trigger their weakness policy. Yeah, because they're most likely going to set up Trick Room here. Arcanine's going to Heat Wave. Literally no damage. Oh, Max Quake. Interesting. Groudon with the special defense boost. Arcanine survives, which is not going to matter. It actually does matter, because even if they get the Trick Room up, now they have to focus on Arcanine. The free switch to Tapu Fini would have been nice, but now I think it's really dependent. Okay, so Porygon is probably going to recover here. And I think my max is over. I think Heat Wave again. I could Snarl. No, I think just continue damage with Heat Wave and then Superpower into the Porygon with the idea that I just want to hit it for as much as I can, and even if I bring out Dialga Tapu Fini, it's not the worst position because Tapu Fini can Calm Mind, so it'll beat the Porygon, and then Dialga... Oh, I already know what the item on the Groudon is. I don't even have to worry about weakness policy. I don't know why I'm so worried about that. Yeah, it'll be pretty nerfed once it's out of its max, especially because it just is boosting its defenses and doesn't really have a good offensive option. Yeah, we saw the Precipice Blade in that. Yep, the recover is expected. Let's see where Groudon is going to target. They're probably going to max Rockfall into... Oh, max Flare. Max Flare into the Arcanine. Cool, Arcanine goes down. Yeah, Arcanine actually would have been a good switch out. Okay, so they have the Sunlight. So that lets me know they have Fire Punch, Precipice Blade, and Rock Slide. Superpower into the Porygon. Good amount of chip, but it does mean that Thundurus is weakened. Groudon is burned. Dealing with that Porygon is going to be hard. Do I want to do Tapu Fini? I do like the idea of Dialga. I'm going to do Dialga because I think Tapu Fini has a good amount of viability left. I think I could switch out to it because Groudon has one turn of max left, and it's most likely going to single target... Oh, no, it doesn't. So it can't just go freely with Precipice Blade because of the fact that there is still Thundurus. I could reverse the Trick Room. That could be interesting. I could reverse the Trick Room. Well, the Porygon's probably going to recover. I think just trying to knock out that Groudon, and then if it's hopefully 3v1 Groudon versus, or Porygon versus what I have left, it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, so get the Tapu Fini out. Changes the terrain, not a super big deal. What are they going to go for? I'm guessing recover on the Porygon. Eerie Impulse. Oh, okay, so it's Eerie Impulse, Porygon, which means that Thundurus is actually really big. Flash Cannon, so I actually should reverse the Trick Room. Or I can just critical hit the Groudon. Good job, Dialga. I mean, that crit I'm pretty sure would have yeah, that crit 100% mattered. And now it's 3v1 Porygon versus... Oh, no, they have a Charizard. It is not 3v1. It is still 2v3. Charizard is out. I think the Protect into Dialga is super obvious. And I feel like they're going to just try and Eerie Impulse. But that's fine. I think Muddy Water... Try and get the accuracy drop with the... Yeah, they're going to go for Eerie Impulse. It's going to... Oh, they also protected. Wow. Interesting. Charizard protects. Porygon's going to Eerie Impulse into Tapu Fini. Yep. Get my special attack to harshly drop. Muddy Water. But I'm most likely slower than the Charizard. So I should be hitting first. Wow, I didn't even see the damage that I did to Porygon. How many turns of Trick Room are left? There is 1 turn of Trick Room. So I think I actually want Dialga to faint. I'll try and Flash Cannon here and get a Muddy Water off. If I can get Dialga to faint, I can safely bring in Thundurus outside of the Trick Room and be able to knock out the Charizard. Yeah. So, very obvious recover. Yeah, Thundurus is going to be huge here. Muddy Water, Porygon avoided. That's fine. My main target is Charizard. I know it's Sun -2. Not going to do any sort of damage. Accuracy drop would be huge. Nope. Okay. Flash Cannon into the Porygon. Absolutely nothing. Solar Beam. Oh, Solar Beam into Tapu Fini, which is potentially fine. If it knocks out Fini, that's a free switch into Thundurus. Yep. So Tapu Fini goes down. Free switch into Thundurus with the battlefield returning to normal. Oh wow, Charizard is under half. So I'm trying to think. I feel like they might protect and Trick Room. So I think the better choice for me is to reverse the Trick Room and Wild Charge into Charizard. Let's see what they do. Yeah, because if they try and reverse and protect, which I think they're gonna try and Trick Room and protect, and I'm hoping I can reverse it. But this is a huge risk because if I call it wrong, okay, Charizard protects, great. Thundurus Wild Charge, yep, expected. Does Porygon go for Trick Room? Oh, that's so bad. Oh no. Oh, I called that wrong. I called that so wrong. Because now... I mean, there is no more sunlight, but yeah, there's no way. Oh, Thundurus is not going to take another hit. Oh, that sucks. That... Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the sentiment of how one sort of turn can completely change the entire outcome of a game. Because at this point, yeah, I can't do anything to that Charizard because I called that wrong. Oh, that would have been such a... Yep, Eerie Impulse into Dialga. I need a critical hit with Dialga. And I need to survive whatever it's going to do. Yeah, I can't touch Porygon. Heat Wave. Oh, God, if they had missed in Thundurus, that would have been game. Yeah, Thundurus goes down. That's super, super unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much I can do at this point. I can't even try to play the timer. I guess I can. Yeah, I can't touch Charizard. Oh, that was so. Yeah, knocking out that Charizard would have been huge. Because then I would have just had so much offensive pressure into Porygon. I could have fought back. But yeah, I think between yeah, that Ice Beam and this Heat Wave, Dialga should go down. Yeah, that was rough. That's yeah. It's frustrating that one play can really shift the tide of the game, and I had no real way of knowing if my opponent would go for Trick Room, but I decided to chance it. Oh well. I mean, that happens, and I think the rest of the game I played well, and all I can really do is just kind of focus. So I will see all of you in the next game. All right, game 2, we have a Kyogre team. It's Kyogre Whimsicott with Mudsdale, Malamar, Heliolisk, and Volcarona. This is tricky. I do like do I like Thunderous Dusclops? Thunderous Dusclops is interesting. Or I could do Thunderous Tapu Fini. Thunderous Tapu Fini actually sounds like my best bet because I can... Maxing, I know I can live for a hit from Kyogre. And then I think... Yeah, Dialga, I don't actually really know what to expect against this team. I kind of like Dialga Glastrier with the idea that I can swap the terrain, or not swap the terrain, Trick Room with Dialga to have Glastrier kind of finish things out. Is that the best option? Arcanine doesn't really do much. Yeah, I think Thunderous Tapu Fini is my best option because it stops a lot of things that I think would let Kyogre set up. It does mean I have to commit to a max with Thunderous, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Dialga, I would like to be a little bit more offensive, but it's not a super big deal. They are getting close. Okay, so they didn't time out, which I think is important. So let's see. Mudsdale could theoretically be a scary lead. No, I think whatever doesn't get covered by Thunderous gets covered by Tapu Fini. I think because of Muddy Water, it's such a strong sort of option. Malamar is what? Dark Psychic? Misty Surge, yep, comes up. I don't want to commit too early. I think I could just max Airstream here and then Moonblast into Malamar. I think that's the best option. Yeah, because I mean, I'm not lowering Malamar's stats and triggering Contrary. I'm boosting my own. And I think even if they +1, yeah, if I get a double knockout with Thunderous, that forces them to bring out Kyogre. And then I should be able to one-shot it. So they're not maxing. Sorry about that. Yeah, they're not maxing. The one scary thing though is if they tail end, then Kyogre is faster and they get chip onto Thunderous, then they will be able to knock me out with Water Spout with Kyogre. Okay, so they're maxing too. They're maxing Malamar, which I don't know what Malamar is capable of. I feel like it has a really varied moveset. Yeah, it's definitely Malamar and not Whimsicott. Always a good start. So that's going to go first, and I think that's really going to kind of determine how to approach this. Fake Tears. So, oh, they're boosting its special defense 2 stages. Okay, that's cool. So if I knock out the Whimsicott, Whimsicott is Focus Sash, that's fine. So they can tail in next turn. Yep, Focus Sash. That does mean that I can actually get a second boost into it. Tapu Fini speed. Let's see how much Moonblast does. Moonblast does hardly nothing, so I'm guessing you have weakness policy. Special attack rose. Oh, no weakness policy. Max rockfall into Thunderous. That did a good amount. I think then Thunderous should be over half. So I can take an... Oh, I'm not. So I actually cannot take another one. But Whimsicott does go down. And I am faster, which is good to know. They have no way of setting up Tailwind at this point. So I am going to be faster than a Kyogre. But it does mean that this Malamar is in a really good spot. There's a Max Rockfall up there at +2 special defense. Does that thing get a boost? What is that? I think I just have to Max Lightning into... Do I just double up into Malamar? I forget what Heliolisk's ability is. Isn't it something that... Does it have Dry Skin? I'm gonna double up here. Right? I think if it targets down Thunderous, I'll still have Glastrier to kind of take the hit from Kyogre. Max Lightning, I just want damage onto Malamar. Malamar is just under half. I wish that had done more. Electric Current, Moonblast. Yeah, depending on where they're targeting. God, why do you keep getting the drop? Thunderbolt into Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini goes... I did not actually expect Tapu Fini to go down, which is frustrating. Oh, it's Life Orb. And then, let's see, Max Rockfall, yeah. So I'm going to take a double knockout. That's frustrating. Yeah, and I think Dialga has to Trick Room this turn. I think Trick Rooming with Dialga is really my only option. Malamar is almost gone. Dialga Glastrier. I think, yeah, if I can swap the field with Trick Room, I think Glastrier will be in a really good spot, right? I want to Trick Room and then high horsepower into this thing. Yeah, Malamar, I mean, Max Rockfall is going to be very... Oh, God. Max Rockfall might one-shot Glastrier, I think. Sorry about my cough, by the way. I don't know what's causing that. Yes, this is really going to depend on how much damage Max Rockfall does to Glastrier. Eerie Impulse, of course, that thing has Eerie Impulse. That's frustrating. I think this team has a lot of stuff I've just never really seen before, and I'm kind of figuring out how to adapt on the fly. Max Darkness didn't actually do that much, which is fine. I'm okay with Dialga losing some special defense, high horsepower, get that down. Yeah, because their last thing should be Kyogre, actually. Cool. Critical hit. Great. Glastrier is going to have an attack boost. Malamar is going to be pretty low at this point, so I think Dialga should be able to knock it out. I do have a Life Orb, which makes things a little bit tricky. Yeah, sorry about my cough. God, I don't know what's causing that. I'm going to try and drink some water real quick. Yeah, Glastrier is losing a ton of health. Oh, but Kyogre's going to reverse the weather. So then it's just... This is a tricky guessing game. Yeah, here comes Kyogre. It's going to change the weather. I think just getting as much damage as possible and then trying to knock out that Malamar will kind of... Yeah, if I can get it in Origin Pulse range, that is really good for me. Oh, Dialga's at -2. And Malamar has, like, +2 special defense. This is tricky. I think... I gotta try and just Flash Cannon it for as much damage as I can, and then... Is Icicle Crash? No. Icicle Crash, no. close combat the Kyogre. It's +1 Life Orb. So I feel like it should do a good amount. Let's see. Close combat. Oh my god. It's at like 1 HP. That's frustrating. Superpower into Dialga. That does trigger the weakness policy. So that's good. So Dialga's back at neutral, which hopefully means that I can knock out their Malamar. Yep, Malamar goes down, and now this literally comes down to, do they hit both Origin Pulse? Glastrier avoids. That's awesome. Yeah. So that should be the game then. I mean, that is a risk you take with Origin Pulse, is the fact that it misses. And now I just gotta... Yeah, I'm just like not even gonna chance this. Close combat will finish the game off. That one was close. I think it was really tricky. The Heliolisk and Malamar definitely caught me off guard, and I didn't really know the best way to handle them. But I think being able to come back in the end and having that Trick Room option with particularly Glastrier, which provides such offensive pressure, really was what was able to win the game. So glad I'm 1-1 so far. Let's see if we can hopefully pull out another win for our last game of the day. So we're in the last game of the day. It's another Dialga team. It's Dialga, Hitmontop, Whimsicott, Torkoal, Thundurus, Porygon. So there's a lot of similar things where they do have the Thundurus, they do have the Trick Room option. This is tricky. I think Arcanine is going to be really big here because of the fact that it has Snarl. But this is tricky because if they lead Thundurus, I kind of like Dialga Dusclops. I do want Arcanine in the back. And then it's just a question of what is the third spot. It is frustrating that Glastrier is slower than Torkoal under Trick Room. So that Torkoal is actually going to be a really big problem. And I think Arcanine will actually play a really relevant role. I do like Thundurus because of the fact that it has the Assault Vest and can fight. But I also... Glastrier is also a really good option. This is hard. I'm going to bring Glastrier again. I think the ability to... Yeah, if they bring Whimsicott, it's really good. And hopefully they can't Trick Room. I think it's going to be a lot of mind games about Trick Room and maybe a Tailwind in this game. Because, yeah, Whimsicott can also set up Trick Room. So now it comes down to the tricky little bit of what are they leading with and how can we play around that. So when Whimsicott Thundurus. Okay, so I actually cannot do much to Thundurus. But they also, in return, can't do much to me. So now is the question of, is it a Prankster Thundurus? Let's find out. Let's see. Frisk. Focus Sash on Whimsicott. Life Orb. Okay, so we know it's Defiant. And I think then Flash Cannon into Whimsicott. And then Trick Room with Dusclops. Hopefully they go for... if they go for Tailwind, it's fine. They might taunt me to stop me from going for what's it called, Trick Room, which in which case if I get it down to a Sash, I can then switch my Trick Room user to be Dialga and have it Trick Room while I have Dusclops go for a Bulldoze. So I don't think it's totally hopeless even if they do taunt the Dusclops. I don't think people are expecting both Dialga and Dusclops to have Trick Room. Okay, so they're going to withdraw into their own Dialga. This is now a really tricky bit. Because I don't know if their Dialga has... Okay, so they're going to taunt. Yep, they're going to taunt into my Dusclops. I think it's worth actually switching out Dusclops because of Frisk. I think because I can Frisk their Dusclops... Or not their Dusclops, their Dialga. Yeah, so they can't do that. I think I want to protect and then swap out to Arcanine. Yeah, I want to be careful with their Dialga until I know what it can do. I could have actually probably been a little bit more aggressive and gone for damage, but they could max and then max Quake into me. So that's also an option. It does mean their Whimsicott hangs out for another turn, and I can't safely just like go for a Will-O-Wisp. Okay, so they are gonna max their Dialga, which is really it's a little bit tricky. It does mean like Glastrier. Yeah, Glastrier is now my max option, and I think trying to figure out then their Dialga set to know if they are weakness policy is going to be a really big deal. Yep, Dialga is going to max. Let's see what they want to do. Whimsicott, Tailwind? Fake Tears. Fake Tears into Dialga. So they're just trying to knock out my Dialga. They're going to max Quake into it, and they're going to trigger my weakness policy. Yep, weakness policy, great. So this is one of the unfortunate things about, what's it called? About not running Incineroar is that Arcanine doesn't have Fake Out, which is really, really a big deal here because I could have done Fake Out on Whimsicott. I think then the play is still... I think it's just to try and... Or I want damage on the Dialga, but I don't want to trigger... I think Snarl. I think it's safer to make sure that that doesn't get a... what's it called? A boost for a weakness policy? Oh, that was a very good switch. That was a very good switch. Because their Thundurus is going to get a Defiant boost. Oh, that's bad. Their Dialga's special attack falls. Dialga's going to Flash Cannon. I should have... Wow. Oh, because they're Life Orb. Yeah, I'm fine with Arcanine going down. Oh, Arcanine... Oh, they targeted Arcanine, and Arcanine lives. That's tricky. I think the play is still Flash Cannon here and Snarl. I'm gonna lose the Speed War to Thundurus, and it's gonna knock out one of them. But trading for their Thundurus is a big deal. Thundurus is gonna fly. Okay. Thundurus flies. Snarl off into their Dialga to put it at -2. Yeah, because I really need Dusclops to be able to come in to set up for Glastrier. I think Glastrier at this point is my win con. Yeah, okay, so Dialga lives. They're most likely flying into Arcanine. So I think I can safely Dusclops. I think I should Trick Room. And then do I bring out Dusclops? Yeah, let's Trick Room Dusclops. I still have my max, which I think is relevant, and it's probably going to be Glastrier. Frisk, Thundurus, yeah, Life Orb, Weakness Policy. So they are also Weakness Policy. That's great. They're going to fly, yep, into Dusclops. That did a lot more than I would have liked. Earth Power into my Dialga. I don't live. Oh, this is really actually tricky now. Dusclops is... They're at -2 with their Dialga. I think the play is to target... And their Thundurus is probably one hit left. I could max Knuckle into it. No, I don't want to trigger their weakness policy. I think max Hailstorm, where even if Thundurus goes down, knocking out Dusclops. No, I want to Trick Room. Yeah, this is tricky. I want to get the Trick Room off because then, if I do, I don't expect to live. They withdraw Dialga. Oh, are they gonna bring out Whimsicott? Hitmontop. That would have been hilarious if they brought out Whimsicott and I just gave it back a bunch of HP. Okay, so they have Hitmontop, Whimsicott, and Dialga. Dialga has the weakness policy and no max. I think Glastrier being able to pick up one of these knockouts, hopefully. They could, if they superpower into Glastrier, they know it doesn't have weakness policy. Yeah, they're going to superpower. I live. That's a really big deal. That's great. Okay, that's great. Thunderous goes down. I'm going to be able to set up the Trick Room and get a max Hailstorm into this Hitmontop. Oh, they go down to Life Orb Recoil. Yeah, okay. Hitmontop goes down. Hopefully I don't lose any HP. Or no, I didn't Pain Split. I Trick Roomed. Yeah, Trick Room is great. Trick Room goes up. Glastrier, I think, is in a really good position. It just now depends on, can I pick up enough KOs against their Dialga? And I do have Arcanine as well, and I think Arcanine offers a lot of pressure that they can't deal with. So they have Whimsicott as well at 1. What can that Whimsicott do? This is what I'm trying to figure out. I think Max Quake, the Hitmontop, and then Nightshade, the Whimsicott. I mean, they can fake out Mach Punch. Oh, Mach Punch. That live is nice. Taunt onto, I mean, that's fine. At this point, I'm just trying to deal damage to their team. Nightshade. It does mean that I can't Pain Split the Dialga. But, I mean, I'm at +1. I'll be at neutral with Glastrier. I do have the special defense boost. Getting the knockout here is big. Yep. Yeah. So it's Dialga versus Glastrier, a Dialga, or not a Dialga, Dusclops and Arcanine in the back. Chilling Neigh brings me to neutral, and I think this is tricky because I don't want... Oh, Glastrier has 1 hit left. I'm guessing they're going to protect. They're going to protect the Dialga to try and stall out my max and try and knock out Glastrier. Do I think Hailstorm and then Nightshade? It's most likely going to protect. But just being able to... Oh, battle's canceled. Cool. So yeah, I mean, I think I was still worried, and I don't think it was totally over at that point if they stalled out Glastrier. It was fun. I'm glad that this team was able to kind of pull through in the end and make up for Groudon failing as a Trick Roomer yesterday. This was great. I really like Dialga. I think it's a super cool Pokemon. Let's check out their team. I'm actually interested on their Dialga spread. So their Dialga, yeah, max HP, max special attack. So I think, yeah, so we would have actually outsped. They did, so they don't have Trick Room on it. They have 3 attack moves. They have Hitmontop with Mach Punch, Wide Guard, Fake Out, Close Combat. I think that's super relevant, especially with all the spread damage. Whimsicott, Dazzling Gleam, Tailwind, Fake Tears, Taunt. Yep, pretty standard. Fake Tears is a cool move, especially given the fact that they do have weakness policy. Koba Berry, yeah, nice, relevant. Focus Sash here. Charcoal. This was what I was most worried about, this Torkoal. I think Torkoal would have pretty easily just wrecked my team. And then finally they have, yeah, Life Orb Thundurus. I think, yeah, Life Orb Thundurus makes sense. The Protect option is really nice. And then finally, yeah, Porygon with Trick Room. And it's that, yeah, it's the VGC 21. That's very cool. So this is fun. I liked it a lot. Let's get back into some more, hopefully some more hyper-offensive teams tomorrow. Actually, I don't really know. There are, like I said, a couple more teams that I really want to show off before this season ends, and hopefully we can check it out and have some fun together. Until then, see y'all.